Thank God it's a Friday, November 20, 2020. Uy, 35 days na lang, Pasko na. The BSP cuts interest rates by 25 basis points and ACEN is again in the news. And the results of trading the PSE, lahat ng ito in the TGIF November 20 edition ng The Stock Market Today. Bago po ang lahat, basahin po muna natin ang ating reminders at disclaimers. At habang binabasa po natin ito, kung first time niya po dito sa ating channel, ay nag-start po akong magbigay ng daily stock market report noong August. Inaanyayahan ko po kayo na mag-subscribe sa aking channel para palagi po tayong updated sa balita at impormasyon tungkol sa stock market at ang mga active stocks sa merkado. Salamat po at tignan po muna natin ang ating mga balita. From the Manila Times, BSP interest rates cut to record low. The BSP on Thursday surprised the market by trimming its key interest rates to their lowest level to further support the Philippine economy amid the lingering impact of the coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic. The central bank's overnight borrowing, lending, and deposit rates were slashed by 25 basis points to 2%, 1.5%, and 2.5% respectively after its policy-making body, the Monetary Board, held its 7th rate-setting meeting for 2020. Actually, the slashing of interest rates would result to borrowers borrowing more or investing more by borrowing, and in the process spur and create activity in the Philippine economy. Next, we have further news on ACEN. From the business world, Ayala Energy Arm embarks on a 2 billion transformation. Ayala-led AC Energy Philippines will need up to 2 billion to exceed its 2025 target 5 gigawatt of installed energy capacity, which will also see the completion of its corporate transformation and restructuring, its top officials said on Thursday. We estimate that we will be requiring around $1.8 billion to $2 billion of equity to help realize that vision, Eric T. Francia, the company's president and CEO, said in a virtual media briefing. AC Energy has been a leader in its field, and recently there had been additional investments to ACEN. So it says here that Mr. Francia said that at the end of the year, ACEN's stake would go down to about 65%, with Singapore-based GICPTE holding 17.5% and the public owning 18%. The board of ACEN last week approved the proposal of GIC affiliate Aran Investment to invest around 200 billion for the 17.5 ownership stake. So that's hopefully we will see a lot more of ACEN in the PSE. And right now ACEN is doing at the closing price of ACEN yesterday was at 518. Okay, so now let's take a look at what's happening or what happened to the PSE and the PSE index. The PSEI moved higher today. It ended at 71.6979, 172.17 points higher, 2.46%. Wow, that's significant. Okay, so let's take a look at the summary. 159 companies advanced, 68 or 66 declined, while 45 remained unchanged. There was net foreign buying at 211.34 million. As for the sectoral indices, all the sectoral indices are in the positive, which is led by mining at 2.88%, then followed by the holding companies at 2.87%, and properties at 2.83%. The all-share index also gained by 91.85 points, or 2.23% higher. Let's take a look at the most active stocks. Let's review the following. Let's review BDO, Metrobank, Converge, PHA, URC, SCC, GTCAP, ACEN, MWIDE, and SMC. So that's 10 stocks. So let's start with BDO. I think BDO ended higher today. That's 104.70 or 5.76% higher. If we'll take a look at the stock, it broke the resistance. So there was already a, yes, this is a breakout, and it broke the resistance level of 99 to 100, and it had a gap up of 101. Okay, its next resistance that it will test is, it will first retest the 109, then the next would be the 114 level here. So how do I see the stock? I see the stock moving higher. And if you'll see our indicators here, the exponential moving averages for the 20, the 50, and the 100 days are all under the candlestick. And our RSI is above 70. It's 70, almost 75. But if you'll take a look at the directional movement, 23, there is a possibility that, well, our indicators is telling us that it will be moving higher. Next, let's take a look at MBT. By the way, if you want me to review your stock, please comment on the comment box and I will do the review. MBT moved higher again, and this is a breakout of sorts. And let's see, it's moving up because our indicators are both under the candlesticks. Let's take a look at the DMI. The DMI is at 36, meaning that there is a bullish momentum. So our indicators, which is the 20, 50, and 100 days exponential moving average, are all under the candlestick, indicating a bullish momentum. So it broke the previous resistance of, actually it is at resistance level, but its next resistance that it will test will be this 51. It will retest the 51 level and probably fill up the gap here. Meron po siyang gap dyan eh. So it will probably move higher and fill up the gap at and may touch the 53.75 level. So I think the stock will move higher, and RSI is very bullish at 75. Some will say that this was overbought, but our DMI, or the directional movement, is above 36, so it doesn't really matter if our RSI is overbought. So you see the stock moving higher. Next, let's take a look at Converge. Converge continues to move higher, and it tested the resistance level of, I think this is our only resistance data that we have. It's 1680. It went as high as 1690. So yan pa rin ang ating resistance level. Yan, 1680, 1681. If you'll see, if you'll draw a trend line, but this time the previous resistance level was broken, although there is not much volume, not much volume there. So feel ko lang is that the stock may have some profit taking on Monday or in the coming days. Maaring mag-move sideways before it continues to move upwards, no? Maaring dyan, sideways muna bago siya tumaas. And then next, let's take a look at PHR. Ang PHR naman, PHA rather. PHA had a gap up, but it ended lower. That's why it's a red candlestick. It opened at 82, closed at 80. But since there's a gap up, it's a green indicator here. So maaring nagpapahinga lang yung stock. Let's take a look at if this is an all-time high. Yeah, this is an all-time high, 52-week high. But historically, there is a resistance here. Ito yung nearest resistance niya. Nasa 91. So it may retest this resistance level at 91 or 92. But I think with the volume, and if the volume will hold in the following day, the following trading day, then I think that the stock may move higher. Kasi yung mga, again, yung mga foreign investors are bullish about the stock. Next, let's take a look at URC. URC mukhang breakout to. No, it's not a breakout, although there's volume. So there is a reverse hammer here. So it means that the stock went as high as 164.60, but sellers pushed the prices down. So tingnan natin yung intraday 5-minute. You know, at the beginning of the 9:30, beginning of the trade, it began to move sideways until it moved up. Tapos it began to consolidate and there was a movement upwards. And then there was profit taking until it reached the price of 151. So yun po yung intraday niya. Pero if you'll take a look at the daily, which is our basis for the analysis, the stock is still bullish because there is volume. And if the RSI is respectable at 64, if you'll take a look at the DMI, that should be above 30. It's 39. So which means that there is a bullish trend going on. So if we are going to draw a parallel channel here, ito yung nakikita kong channel niya. Ganyan yung channel niya. Pasa natin konti. Yan. So may slight overshoot yan, but essentially this is the movement of the stock. In the meantime, ang ating resistance ay masasabi natin nandito. Gawin natin weekly to. 162, 163 level. Yan, 163 ang pinaka-resistance niya. And the nearest support, balik natin sa daily. Ito yung nakikita ko nearest support niya. Nandito siya sa 144.6. In the meantime, because of our bullish indicator, our indicators are under the candlestick, then I expect the stock to move higher. And there is an above average volume. So the resistance is 163, while the support is at 144.6. Let's take a look at Semirara, SCC, another stock that moves upwards, continues to move upwards, though slowly, no? Actually, Semirara had a breakout of sorts also, since this is the highest in, let's say, October 27, more than about 3 weeks. This is the 3-week high. 1192, it gained 4.20%, and there is volume in the trade today. So I expect the stock to move higher. You see all indicators here. The EMA20, EMA100, and EMA50 are all under the candlestick. And here, what we can see here is nag-bounce siya dito. So meron siyang bounce dito, which resulted to a higher candlestick formation with an 11.92 finish. So the next resistance level that it may test would be mga 12.05. Yan yung next resistance level that it may retest. And because there is volume, at Semirara naman is a good company, so maaaring mag-move higher pa ito. Okay, GTCAP. Puro mga bullish stocks itong pinaka-active. GTCAP had a solid green candlestick, although makita nyo yung volume, hindi siya ganong malaki. But the RSI is 79, which is overbought. Let's take a look at the DMI. It should be above 30. Okay, the DMI is 43, almost 43, so it's above 30, indicating a bullish momentum or bullish trend. And if you'll see our indicators, it's all under the candlestick, indicating a bullish momentum. Unlike dito, yung indicator natin is above the candlestick, bearish momentum naman yan. No? Bearish yung kanyang sentiment because the prices and the candlesticks are moving down. This is moving higher. And it may retest the next resistance level because this is a breakout, ano? No, it's not a breakout because there is no volume. So, ang feel ko lang dito, mga kapuso, kapatid, kabarkada, at kapamilya, baka lang, no? Because there is no volume, baka mag-profit taking ito in the coming days bago siya mag-move higher. Kasi there has to be volume like here. Oh. So here, ayan, meron volume siya. So, tumaas siya ng konti. Ito, meron ding volume, ano? So, what happened to the stock? It went higher. So, eto naman kasi, wala eh. So, makikita nyo dyan. It's just an average volume. So, 50-50 yan. Maaring mag-profit taking o mag-consolidate. Ganun ang nangyari. Pero, if you'll notice, yung meron net foreign buying on the stock, no? Meaning that the financial institutions, the foreign institutions are bullish about the stock. Pero sa akin kasi, baka lang mag-profit taking. So, it may retest the next resistance at, kasi may resistance dito, mga 700 na yung next dito eh. Or pwede niyang i-retest dito, mga 640 level, yung pwede niyang i-retest. Before it's gonna move higher. Before it's going to move higher. Next, let's take a look at ACEN. Si ACEN, isa pa itong stock na lumalarga. Okay, ACEN had another breakout, and this is the all-time high at 580. And if you will see yung ating mga indicators, the EMA, the exponential moving average, 20, 50, and 100, ito yung formation na very bullish. At yung RSI, tingnan mo, 87, overbought, no? Pero if you'll take a look at the TMI, may bullish indication siya. At 40. Tingnan natin yung balik natin sa RSI. So ang tingin ko dyan, the stock has a large potential of still moving higher. Pero if you'll notice, kasi napansin ko to yung volume niya, no? Ito merong declining volume dito. Although meron pa rin, maaring ang mangyari dyan kasi is, in spite of what we see, the RSI na very bullish at 87 and DMI at higher than 30, ang tingin ko dyan is baka lang mag-profit taking kasi may declining volume siya. Kung titignan natin, if we will draw a trend line, maaaring may bullish divergence na mangyari sa ating RSI. So, ganun lang tingin ko. But in the long run, in the long term, tingin ko dyan is the stock may, in the short term, the stock may move lower, but in the long term, I think it will move higher because of the good catalyst that we have on the stock. First is the new investor. Second is the stock rights. Third is the good and big ticket projects. Fourth is the government support on the green energy and market sentiment. Number 5. Yun yung nakakita kong 5 catalyst. On the short term, baka sa Monday, mag-profit taking lang. Next, let's take a look at MWIDE. MWIDE had a breakout of sorts. Lumalarga si MWIDE, and the current resistance level, it's testing the current resistance level of 1060, 1070. Ito kasi siya. 1070 yung nearest resistance, pero we can say that's already in resistance level. And there is volume, no? Although it's a bit higher than the average. And the RSI is also bullish at 80. So overbought, no? But the DMI, okay, the DMI is at 29, or almost 30. So I would say that there is a bullish momentum on the stock. So it may just retest the next resistance level here. 11.7 yung i-retest niyang resistance. Kasi kung magkaroon ng rejection here, ito kasi is the 1070 is the nearest resistance. Kung ma-break niya yan, dire-diretso yan sa 1174. Ngayon, kung magkaroon ng profit taking sa 1170, rin, baka magkaroon ng rejection on that level. But on the overall, I think that I see the stock moving higher. Next, let's take a look at SMC, our last stock. Wow, look at that, SMC breakout. So it's 8.62 or 10 points higher from 116. That's something. And it's because of its good catalyst. Okay, so it broke the current resistance level at 120. Ito yung present resistance niya. 120 nabasag yan, na-break niya yan. And it will retest the next resistance here. 130. Now, if the volume will hold, and I say if the volume will hold, tataas na yan. It's just a bit above average. So, may chance na magkaroon ng consolidation muna bago siya tuluyang tumaas. You see yung mga indicators natin, under the candlestick siya. And if you take a look at our DMI, that should be above 30. It's 39. Well, how do I see the stock? I think the stock may move higher if the volume will hold. Yan po ang ating stock market report today. Thank God it's Friday, the 20th of November. Ito po si Benji Chadoro nagpapaalala. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik. See you again in our next episode and enjoy your weekend. Maraming salamat po.